Hello and welcome back to one more video of Empyrion Galactic Survival. We are playing the scenario Reforged Eden. So last episode we played the chapter 4 of the main storyline, and in this episode we will play the chapter 5, Offworld Grave. The loss of I.D.A was narrowly avoided with the transfer of her core into the Polaris communications relay that grants her access to the system's communications and surveillance systems, avoiding the scrutiny of Sigma, who have managed to gain access to tactical scans of a massive crashed ship on the nearby moon. Within the torn and sundered remains of the lost ship lies another potential clue to the location of the remaining fleet, from a source independent of Polaris. So we will accept the mission, and I.D.A probably is going to tell us what we have to do. Strange. Okay, it's nothing to worry about, Commander. I'm in the middle of updating your suit's drivers with the latest Polaris security protocols. You will see minor improvements on your display, blah blah blah. Okay, so before we start going ahead with the video, if you like the video, please give a like. It's very important for us in the channel. If you're enjoying the channel as well and you want to see more videos and want to see the end of the storyline, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And once again, if you have anything to say, just leave a comment. Something to ask, leave a comment, or just give a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Okay, so without further ado, let's see what I.D.A is telling us. Prevent monitoring rather than snooping, Commander. I was able to retrieve surveillance images of several planets and moons in the system. The most relevant of each showed the remains of a large ship on the other side of the moon, extrapolating for its images. If there's any logs there, the remaining ships in the fleet were able to escape to, they would be on the MS Titan. Okay, apparently we can find the MS Titan. Looks like we have another chance to find the trail of our fleet. Hopefully this one will pay off so that we won't need to rely on Polaris. Okay. Crash of the Titans. After a small detour, we went to our base to pick up some supplies, oxygen, and I forgot actually to pick up food, but that's fine. And we just reached the moon where we have been asked to come, and we need now to find the crash of the Titan, where the Titan has crashed. We are approaching the crash site of the Titan. Apparently this is the front part. At least this is what it's saying in the tag. So there's a few things here. Let's see what's... Yeah, that's definitely the front. I have eyes on the forward section of the Titan. I.D.A, considering the speed it would have hit the ground, the damage it's a bad and as I would expect. Okay. Sad to see a ship like this. Okay, the middle section. I can see right in the middle hangar. Looks like it broke apart before it hit the ground. Oh. Just probably the only blah blah. Okay, so let's see the rear, where the bridge is actually located. That's all 3 sessions confirmed. I'm heading for the section to see if there's anything. Be careful, Commander. The wreckage appears to be unstable and might collapse with minimal prompting. Okay. So enter the forward section of the Titan. The forward. Okay, we need some light here. let's try to find a nice place where we can land this baby and beam engine. And this way is not supposed to be a target. I have reached the entry point of the wreckage, I.D.A. It looks like this leads through the crew quarters towards the warp fuel generator near the bow. Ooh. Okay. So what we have here? Oh, okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay, warp fuel generator. I'm looking at the warp fuel generator. What's left of it, at least. There should be a console in the engineering section with the operation logs of the warp drive. It should shine a light on what happened around here. I found the console, I.D.A. Appears to be intact, but it got no power. No surprise there. Yeah, duh. Access the warp drive console. Okay, forgot to press. Hits a few keys on the keyboard. Looks like the power's out completely. The reserves must be drained too. I'll have to run a cable from my suit power supply to the console like I did back in the Hindenburg. Connect the suit constructor's power supply to the connector. Sure. Charging. Let's see what happened to the Titan. Battery status less than 1%. Warning, charging error. Okay. Remaining power 0 minutes 0 seconds. I thought I was charging. I don't like the look of that warning. Console locked technician 15 pan blah blah blah. Unable to connect to the server. No input. Enter query. System logs. Retrieving logs. Logs incomplete. Read logs now. Upload to external device. I'm uploading the warp drive logs to you, I.D.A. I don't feel like reading a technical data read out. That won't make a lick of sense to me. I'm not warp technician. I know how to use a warp drive. While I'm glad you think highly of my skills, Commander, what makes you know how one works, I.D.A.? I'm a strategic class A AI, not a fleet class AI. I'm not authorized to access or manage the technical systems. So then there's nothing either of us can do? Not necessarily, Commander. I can read the technician's logs and time-stamped events and collate them into a report. Okay. The specifications of the warp fuel generator, however, are locked behind several layers of programming blocks in my code. Whatever you can manage, I.D.A. It will take some time, Commander. I will forward the report to your PDA for you to read at your leisure. Disconnect the power cable. Okay, and I'm stunned. Why? Let's see. Can we grab some oxygen? Oh yes, we can. Let's start looting the place. Find engineering console. There's another console? Okay. And this is the other side. Sure, of course. Why would be the other way? But we decided to make our own passage through the wreckage. Oops. I can see now it's on the upper level. Looks like there's still some juice in the battery for this one. I probably not gonna walk. Okay, access the engineering console. Insert valid personnel key card into the read, blah blah. Okay, so looks like there's power, but the system seems to be locked. There's a lot of a slot here for a key card, but it looks like I'm unlucky. Okay, of course it couldn't be that simple. I.D.A, is there anything you can do? I.D.A wizard, no commander. Okay, so I remove the wizard, just I.D.A. Okay, I'm back with the card to the console. If the card is valid, it's a serious breach of protocol. Remember to make a note of the card's identification code, Commander. Insert the card. Okay, so welcome back, Technician J. Harper. Okay, I will upload the logs. I don't think it's smart to hang out around these radioactive wreck readings logs. I have uploaded the files to my I.D.A to read them later. Have you found anything important in the console's files, I.D.A? Nothing of relevance, Commander. I can confirm from the records that most of the crew in the forward section evacuated to the hangar and boarded transports to leave the ship in the middle of combat after the ship had been disabled. I guess that's our next stop then. Remove the card. Okay. So enter the MS Titan middle section. Sure. We arrived at the Crash Titan midsection. Let's look for some safe place to keep this thing here, shall we? Okay, I believe inside of it would be recommendable, I think. Okay, so let's see what we have around. It doesn't appear to be any power. That should be pretty obvious considering the situation. I'm not seeing a power socket either. I can't hook my suit power supply up to it either. Examine the console. Let's see. There's a card reader next to the key card. And a slot on the side of the console for a external power cell with a fuel cell and a key card. I should be able to activate the console. Sure, let's. Ooh, very nice, some goodies. Take power cells from here. Maybe. Insert fuel cell. Okay. The screen of the console lights up. Insert the key card. The screen flashes and flickers. Okay, a couple of well-packed kicks on the console fix the problem. Hangar count 0 of 6. Okay, 6 ships left the Titan. Let's see statistics. Armament, blah blah. Flight plan. There's one registered flight plan from the 6th transport. Sure. One of them had a registered flight plan after all. It could be one that was already prepared, or the crew might have done it while loading. Access the flight plan. Okay, this, I don't know, alien language for me. Destination, Kronos Fleet Heavy Carrier. There's a carrier. Looks like the crew evacuated to the Kronos. That doesn't really help me since I still have no idea where the Kronos and the rest of the fleet went. The last place to check would be the rear section of the Titan. If the Zirax are watching any part of the ship, it will be that one. I would need to be extra careful. I could be stuck jetpacking home. Oh, that's not good. Apparently this part, the rear, is usually monitored by the Zirax, which obviously doesn't help us at all. Okay, where I can safely land my ship. I could try to land here. Okay, and we safely, just in case we need to get out of this place here really running, let's be extra careful. Okay. Oh, we finally. I found the console. Looks like it's already got a key card in it, and the reserve power indicates it's lit up. Okay, good. Titan server terminal. Authorized user detected. Welcome back, Cleo. There are several problems. Connection to data banks. Everything. It's no response from I.D.A. No response from the bridge. Good luck with the launch tomorrow. Call me when you get back, sis. Extend a warranty spa to all evac procedure. Who wrote this crappy dialogue? Okay. To all from the Captain Mercer. This wasn't what I'm looking for. There's a flight data and a connection with the rest of the fleet. Flight recorder. Unable files unsupported format or corrupted. Please verify the integrity. Not again. Why can't these things just work? Yep, I completely agree. I'm not sure about this, Commander. It may have something to do with half of the data banks have been blown out out of the ship. I have a suspicion that it caused problems with data retrieval, but I could be wrong. I.D.A. Let's see. Searching for connection to I.D.A. Unable to connect Kronos. Okay, searching for alternative connections. Come on. No authorized ship. Okay, they are not in the system probably. Fleet AI not detected. Encrypting data core values. Commander, you'd be better stop that. We won't be able to get anything out. A specialized fleet security, no computer systems. I have no idea how to stop it. I will instruct you, Commander. You need to remove the cover of the on the console, pull out the optronic bridge in the slot 25H and connect the suit's data cable. Okay. Done. Okay, I have hooked up my console app to my suit. What should I do with this optronic bridge? The system doesn't require it anymore. I guess it will make. Well, I have convinced the system that I am and ended connection from the fleet was due to remove of the optronic bridge. Most of the ship's data is corrupted, missing, or isolated in the RAM of individual consoles. However, I would like you to look at the screen as I access the personal records. Displaying personal records for Operation Phoenix. Oh, there's so much things here. Searching personal files, Commander Fabio. No match found. Okay. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. It's possible that your personal file was corrupted or lost. It might have been stationed in Apollo station and not part of the operations fleet. It's even possible that you were sent here by command a year later. Each would explain the time difference. I don't think so. Maybe for you, but the date I remember before waking up in the escape pod was the 24th of July, 2473. The day before the fleet was scheduled to leave, so there's still no answer as how I got here, and still no leads on where the rest of the fleet went. The bridge consoles will likely have saved the fleet's headings if they were still operational at the time of the crash. The files on them will be heavily encrypted, and I will not be able to access or transmit them until they are decrypted. Each may take some time, more than usual, since Relay 451 will be moving out of observation range soon. So what will that mean? It means that I will be unable to see if or when any Zirax bases on the planet send an attack force. I will be limited to reading transmissions from other observation sites and from the Zirax. Exercise caution, Commander. I will do it. Okay. Bridge systems usually require two-factor authentication. I should be able to use the server keycard and the tech keycard. Sure. Now, the bridge, we know where it is. There we go. And we just arrived at the bridge. Commander at the bridge. Commander on the bridge. Thank you. This is the only console on the bridge with an active power supply. It's also in bad condition and has taken some serious damage. Like everything else on the ship. Yeah, examine the console. Sure. This console has a pair of card slots for authorization as expected. It shouldn't be a problem since I have 2 key cards already. The other problem is that it looks like something blew a hole going through the back of the console. The damage isn't too bad. I should be able to fix with 10 electronics, 3 fiber optics, and cables, and 1 computer. Okay, 10, 3, 1. Let's see if that works. Repair the console. Thanks very much. Okay. You carefully replace the damaged cables and circuit boards. I'm repairing and I'm natural. Booting up. Okay, let's see what's going on. Warning, damage to system detected. No connection to fleet. Starting safe mode. Yeah, sure. Starting safe mode. Alright. I should stick the key cards in the slots. Starting safe mode. This takes a lot of time. Yes, the technician, blah blah. The other technician, blah blah. Unlocking console restrictions, opening data links. Good. This is also good. So far, so good. Commander, I can now access the command console assistance. The files on this terminal are encrypted and cannot be read or transmitted remotely until they have been unlocked. The content of the file should still be readable from the terminal. Please verify that the relevant files are stored on that terminal, Commander. Let's see. Access the fleet data connection. Access the combat logs. Display combat logs of the Titan. Display combat logs. Captain Lydia Mercer. Displaying video logs. Displaying radar. No idea what is interesting here. Captain's log. The Titan is disabled. As a very experienced warfare, it took the brunt of the prolonged uncontrolled journey through hyperspace. As a result, took the brunt of the prolonged uncontrolled journey through hyperspace. As the result, the entire drive system, including the standard warp drive, has overheated to the point that the cruise systems couldn't keep up with it. An unknown alien fleet is approaching at combat speeds, and it's ignoring all attempts at communication. Their ships clearly outclass and outnumber ours 2-1. It looks like this will be the end of the Titan's maiden voyage. It looks like the Titanic. The decision has been made. We will use the ship as a shield to draw the enemy's fires while the rest of the fleet withdraws. Okay, she sacrificed the ship. I've been giving the order for the crew to get to the transports and head to Kronos or whatever ship will take then. I will board the last ship out after I make sure everyone else is out first. Going down with the ship is romantic and all, but it's not one of those things I would rather do today. It takes the burden of command off my shoulders when everything is laid out before the first shot is even fired. Okay, continue until I have time. Go back. Okay, let's see this. We are 8 minutes into the first exchange with the enemy fleet. So far we have lost 2 transports, the Hindenburg and the Eldman, and the Helene took a salve of missiles across its starboard bow from one of those damn dreadnoughts. It started failing towards the planet below and seems to be drawing as much fire as the Titan is. Okay. The Titan's leading in the opposite direction towards the moon, but our starboard artillery is still playing hell on those Basses corvettes because of they have turned to sink what left of the Helene. Still 3 transports on the deck waiting to leave, and Chief Lamar is ignoring my evacuation order to purge the warp core. The goddamn fool. Final entry. This is the final log, transmitting it to the RIA in case no one makes it off. There's only 4 ships staying behind. 4 ships staying behind, and they are waiting for us to evac before they jump. I authorize Lamar and Harper for posthumous promotions to Commander and Lieutenant Commander respectively if I don't make it. Okay, so Lamar is probably Commander as me now. The Titan's flying dead stick. There's breaches on all decks and we have lost the chutes completely. The strain against the moon's gravity is steering the front of the ship, so me and the rest of the bridge crew are headed for the last transport. Everyone get your helmets sealed now. This is Captain Lydia Mercer of the Titan signing off. Good luck and Godspeed anyone. Go back to... Did I? The last transport leaves the crippled and heavily damaged Titan as it begins. The last transport changed course and entered hangars MS Titan's sister ship, the Rhea. Moments later, the two remaining ships achieve warp speed and vanish. Two remaining. Okay, so that's probably the Rhea and the Kronos, maybe? I've just watched the video recording of the fleet's warp of the System 2 ships. Do you think you could calculate their destinations by the speed and angle of the ships before they warped to figure out where they went? It's possible, Commander. I will need the file from the ship's computer before I can provide a definitive answer, though. But what is it? My apologies, Commander. I failed to detect the launch of Zirax forces from the nearby facilities. They cut all external transmission. I'm detecting a pair of heavy bombers that just launched. Till you finish decrypting and upload the file. Several minutes more. Okay, I recommend removing the key cards as a precaution, Commander. Okay, roger that. Remove the key cards. Because I stuck in the reader, I can't pull them out. Of course. Screw it. I don't have time for this. They'll have to stay there. Leave the console. And we are under attack. So, if we understood correctly, they are attacking on foot as well. But we are kind of prepared, isn't it? Ooh. The problem is I can't see a thing. Oh, there we go. Some combat. I'm so good at piloting, seriously. Oh, my ship is so heavy. Oh, it's already dead. Good. Yeah, my ship is heavy. It's been difficult, but not impossible. These sudden movements of them, it's very difficult. Okay, where he is? He's somewhere here. There we go. We can do it. Ah, yeah. I think we got them. I'm afraid not, Commander. You disappoint me. So not only we have lost our lead to the fleet's heading, the information has fallen into the enemy's hands. We couldn't have screwed up this better. Yep. The files are heavily encrypted and will take time to Zirax to make use of them. We still have a chance to retrieve. Apparently we finished. Okay. So we finished the current mission, chapter 5. So in the next episode, chapter 6, we will start the hostile apparatus. So thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you like to leave a comment or a suggestion, please. If you also would like to see something different in the channel, let us know in the comments, and I talk talk to you soon. See you until the next video. Bye bye.